Hello everyone, welcome to my Nature Diaries. I want to talk to you today about an element that can really make a huge difference in your journal, in my case a nature journal or sketchbook, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to paint or draw in a certain way. It's definitely something that we see in the world around us, and it's simply this: design. This is a powerful tool that is going to empower us to be able to create in confidence so that we see a blank page or pages in front of us and we won't be intimidated. One definition is to formulate a plan for or devise. Another definition is the arrangement of elements or details in a product or work of art. Studying and learning just the basics of good design is a great way to just accelerate our whole art learning process. We only really need a few design principles in order to make something that's really gorgeous and creative. And I want to share with you 5 of the most simple ones that have helped me so much and not only transform my art, but other people that I have taught as well. Intentional inspiration and ideas. Whenever we're browsing through Pinterest in this case, and we run across some images or layouts that we really like, it's going a little bit deeper. That's the intentionality part of this. And we want to begin to ask ourselves great questions and explore the design. Why do I like this page? Is it the color palette? Or maybe I like the minimal look that it has. Or maybe it's the mixed media elements or all 3. Once I've narrowed down these design elements that I really like, I then can put them into my own style in my nature journal or sketchbook. Using these design ideas can really help boost our art confidence and get us creating, which is what we need to do. My next tip is pre-designing your layout. Just like a house needs a great foundation, let's think of our sketchbook in the same way, and let's arm ourselves with as much information and inspiration again as we can. I highly recommend you watching Danny from Sketchbook Skool, and I'll put this video in the description box. And he's talking about design and where to get inspiration, and one of those is from magazines and in this case an art book. Because these are professionally edited, what we can learn from them are great ideas for layouts and design. Looking to see where they place their photographs and put the text is a great way to, again, find inspiration before you start your own sketchbook. One way to accomplish this is to use some pre-made layout shapes. Sometimes I use these, sometimes I don't, but if you're feeling stuck on how to kind of arrange your paintings or drawings, this can be really helpful to give you a visual and an idea like they would in a magazine. I just went ahead and used a layout design that I've used different times in the past that I really like, and that gets me started for my next tip, which is choose your color palette. Having a color palette at the ready before we start is a powerful design tip. You can pre-make all of your color palettes and have them in a book somewhere, or you can just simplify it as much as possible, and that's really what I like to do. I've often felt overwhelmed by the idea of color theory, so to help alleviate some of this color stress, what I like to do is use a very simple palette. I use this Windsor Newton Cotman color travel palette set, and I'll have that link in the description. I've taken out the white that comes with the set and I've added a Payne's gray instead so I can get some of the really dark colors. This has been a game changer for me because I'm making myself use a limited amount of colors in order to create the color story in each one of my designs. Another design tip with color is to make sure that you repeat that color throughout all your paintings if you're breaking that up in your sketchbook and you want to create some kind of harmony and cohesion. Now, this is not a hard and fast rule, but I have found that it really does help to create a beautiful and composed layout, and it's something that I have gone back to over and over again. If I add the pinks over on the right-hand side, I'm going to put them over on the left, and of course, because I am putting lettering on this as well, I'm going to try to use the colors that really seem to work the best with the whole layout in general. Thanks so much for still being here in this part of the video, and I'd super appreciate it if you wouldn't mind liking and sharing this video if you have enjoyed it. Also, comment, tell me your thoughts about design and how it's helped you. If you also would subscribe, I'd appreciate that if you haven't already. And of course, you can find me over on Instagram at my_Nature Diaries. Hope to see you over there as well. Tip number 4 is simply to frame it. I absolutely love this design tip. I create borders by either marking them off with a ruler and pencil, or you can also use washi tape or any kind of masking tape. What we'll be creating here is this crisp white border that will act like a frame if you were to frame your art, or even like a Polaroid photograph, how it's framed by that white border. It does its design magic and sets off to the best advantage whatever artwork that we happen to make. I love this design tip so much that I believe I used a white border in every layout in this particular sketchbook. Not only do they set off your artwork, but I have found that using a white border can take different paintings that maybe aren't completely related to one another and unify them and make it look like it is one complete composition. I've taught several beginner art classes, and whenever I teach a class, I almost always use this design tip. No matter an artist's skill level or where they're at in their art journey, there's something really powerful for them when they go ahead and remove that washi tape, in this case, or masking tape, and see the painting or drawing, whatever it is they have below that tape. I've seen it especially when they haven't really liked the art they've made, and then they pull the tape off and they realize, wow, that looks pretty good, because this white border, of course, is acting as a frame. What I love about this tip is you can use it for abstract art or maybe just like this simple illustrative art. It works equally as well. It really gives off a very finished and polished look that I feel like just hits the mark every single time that I've used it. I do feel like this design tip is a great way to elevate your art and bring it to another level very quickly and, of course, very simply. Let me know what you think. Clean and precise. This design tip has been a huge game changer for me. I can't even explain how much it has helped me with my art overall. Quality control in our art is a huge way to create something that looks beautiful in our journal. It's such a simple tip too. We keep the edges neat and make sure everything is filled in and looks nice and sharp. Using a ruler or straight edge to create straight lines for our text as well, that's another really simple design tip that helps. Another simple way to do this is to basically correct any mistakes that we make. Having these high standards in our sketchbook really does help set it apart and differentiate it from just maybe a practice sketchbook or journal that we're keeping. And just having the accuracy, I think there's something very beautiful in that in itself. I like to think that it's less about being perfectionistic and more about just being clean and neat and symmetrical. There's something about this that I feel like it's just a great design tip, and it's so easy overall. Again, please subscribe if you haven't already, and like, comment, share. Also remember, you are so amazing and creative. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.